Hello, my name is Alun, and tonight I'm facilitating the third in a series of my own PbtA game, Eotenweard. You want to know more about Eotenweard? Go back and look at session one. And if you're really interested, go to the very extensive playlist on my YouTube channel, which has shows it from starting point to where we're at now in terms of developing it. Um, I will simply allow the players to introduce themselves and their character once we've got going. But I want to start by saying that we are playing as part of the Open Hearth gaming community. If you don't know anything about Open Hearth, please type Open Hearth gaming community into your search engine of choice and find out about us. Come play with us because we think it's quite fun here. Where we left off last time, our four heroes successfully challenged and drove off the source of the darkness hanging over the Dark Age North British settlement of Gundholm. And they set off from there south to the neighbouring kingdom of Dera. On the road, they met some travellers and interacted with them. But Black Cenred, our reformed criminal, I might say that he couldn't possibly comment, I'm certain. But he was taken aside by one of these travellers who revealed themselves to be a fae and offered Cenred a deal. They would offer him a favour from their fae crown, reformed-ish at least, yeah. They would offer him a favour from their fae crown if Cenred would head west to an area of fenland and retrieve a power. Unclear what that power is, but a power from that location. Cenred has convinced the others to go ahead, and so we left them last time heading into the dusk to some fenland. Cenred, anything to add to that, or does that seem a fair?
Misjudged, I would say. Cenred is misjudged. No, that is perfectly fine. By his awesome powers of persuasion and agreeing to certain T's and C's, we are indeed heading west to the unknown fen slash bog
Yes,
to find the power.
we mustn't forget that you have promised Gwylog, our Celtic mystic, that you will, after this, head south in the direction of his own bit of marshland, uh, where he had previous issues. So we'll see whether you hold up on that deal. Um, but yes, you're heading west, and you come over a rise to a great bowl in the landscape. Clearly a place where water collects. Fenland, some narrow open channels in the waterway, but most of it clogged with reeds and weeds. Um, Gwylog, in what ways does this resemble the place where you were apprenticed as a mystic?
Um, well, I think um, you know, a lot of people think that all bogs kind of smell the same. They smell of a little bit of decay. Um, but uh, Gwylog catches a little scent um of kind of a kind of bitterness from some herb. I mean, Gwylog maybe has like, kind of a hound dog nose in the air, and you know, there's something about that scent, that kind of bitter herbal scent that is familiar, and I think Gwylog was a little suspicious of Cenred and kind of got this arrangement, right? This agreement out of Cenred. But I think Gwylog kind of is kind of nodding now that yeah, this you know this is the place where we should be going, right? I mean, is kind of reaffirming Kenred that oh, I'm actually happy to be taking this detour now that we have the fen in front of us.
Uh, Zena, how you're currently burdened by your intrusive nature. I'm just wondering what bog rosemary, good call. Um, what what attracts you? What do you want to know more about in the vista that's open before you?
Hmm, good question. Um,
Is there any
I think
feature that attracts your attention in this expanse of kind of overgrown fen?
um, I'm probably really. Does that sound like a cop out? I think I'm really preoccupied with other things rather than paying attention to the
What's in front
vista,
of you?
the
Oh,
landscape. I
well, do
think
tell us
I'm still
what are you preoccupied with?
Well, I'm still wondering how to get to understand Ceri um, and what is going on in their mind. And I'm also still very much uh, questioning Kenred's motives.
Well, which of those do you want to focus on? Do you want to have a scene with Kerry or a scene with Kenred?
Uh, Good question. Maybe Kenred?
Fine.
Because it was probably, yeah, it was rather fruitless the last time I tried to talk to Carrie.
Well, but this time you wouldn't be at disadvantage. But that's something. Yeah, I think I see you heading down from these low hills towards this expanse of fenland. Um, what Kenred, uh, Branwen, have your scene.
Ah, Branwen, my friend, look upon this awesome vista of bog,
Well, I mean, I'm
and look
glad
how
I don't need
joyous Gwylog is.
I'm glad I don't need to breathe anymore, to be honest. But what's this about now? What is this whole journey about? You really did put it on a little too thick, last time.
Did I? Are you accusing me of being dishonest?
Well, I just wonder if there's some other reason, that is also factoring in here that you aren't telling us about.
Oh, of course not. No, it just came to me. Literally, I was speaking to the one of those gentlemen um, back there, and he just mentioned it. I thought, thinking of my good friend Gwylog, this would be a great place to go.
That doesn't seem in your character, though, in line with your character.
My calling my character into question.
I'm not
Come on,
calling your
Bramwell, we've
character into
known each other
question.
for at least a few days.
I'm not calling your character into question, just the motivations behind this.
There is literally that is exactly as I told you, my friend. The reason why I'm coming here. And it's a fair question to ask, and I don't begrudge you asking it. But quite often some people do accuse me of a very smidgen of dishonesty, a smidgen, I tell you, of dishonesty. But on this occasion, no, I was told this was a good place to come. And yes, I was truly thinking of my friend Gwylog.
Well, I'm open to be convinced of your candor here, but just
My good
just keep in
intentions will,
mind.
will, will show, Believe you me, my friend.
Just keep
Believe
in
me.
mind I have my eyes on you.
The eyes that never seem to shut.
Indeed.
And I'm
And
curious, I think, this would be a good time, wouldn't it, T, for our audience to check in on Ceri's burden of being currently incomprehensible. And so I'm wondering if you want a scene with Gwylog.
Yeah, I think Carrie has been actually pretty, considering, his very rough night last night, in surprisingly good spirits today, and has been darting off the path, left and right, sort of leaping from tussock to tussock light-footedly, in a way that I think would maybe give someone else pause, someone with a little bit more sense. And I think sort of mid-morning, maybe right after Cenred and Branwen have their discussion, she'll sort of bounce up to Gwylog and very excitedly speak at him for good 2, 3 minutes, and then wait expectantly.
Gwylog, incoherent, but too incoherent?
Is that a question
To
to
you, really.
Carrie?
I'm just curious what Gwylog makes of this. Do you try to pick up anything from this?
Um,
Have the scene.
yeah, so I think, Gulag, so if Carrie is initially a bit incomprehensible, um Gulag is gonna, say, Carrie, as we descend further into the fen, I think it, it would be um it would be wise to not flit quite so far away from us. I know from experience that bogs are filled with certainly delights and mysteries, but they're also potentially filled with dangers as well.
And I think, as you say, delights and mysteries, Carrie looks very excited, as if you have picked up on the thing that he was trying to tell you, and will tug at your cloak to come follow her off the trail a little bit.
Um, and Gulag will say, "Oh, okay, but let's not run away with ourselves too much, right? Let's make sure that we, know where our compatriots are, right? Where our friends are, and not follow some will o' the wisp or something like that."
And Carrie sort of like flutters a hand at you impatiently and is pointing and is tugging at your cloak to come follow him.
Yeah, and I think Gwylog will somewhat more cautiously than Carrie's enthusiasm will kind of go off and see what Carrie is uh so kind of mesmerized by.
And I think you'll catch up with Carrie, sort of down on her haunches on one of these tussocks, and very gently sort of parts some grass, and you can see there's a little bird nesting on the ground, and it looks up at you, and Carrie looks up at you with a big wide grin.
Um, yeah, Gwylog does get a smile on his face at that and says, "Well, that certainly is a delightful discovery, Carrie." Um, but and Gwylog will kind of uh put his hand on Carrie's shoulder and say, "But it's a young one, right? And no doubt the parent is close by watching us right now. We best leave it alone."
And I think Carrie will nod and then, with exaggerated caution, replace the leaves just as they were and give them a pat. and stand and follow you back to the road, whistling.
I do want to go back to Branwen and Cenred and just check in with having got that kind of that interaction as a baseline. Is there a way to turn that into seeking solace in friendship for for Branwen? Sorry, when you share your fears, frustrations, or feelings about your burden with another. Now, you have been intrusive, but you've not shared. So, do you want to build on that conversation? Um, Maybe by explaining, maybe you're asking too many questions. It's just, it's one of these things I do. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Cenred thinks he's being pushed a bit here, for no good reason. Questioning
Oh,
my
really? Does
honesty.
he?
Why do such a thing, Branwen? I thought
Well,
we were friends.
well, I'm just generally, curious, and I like to get to the bottom of things, and just I have a habit of
Curious is one thing, but I mean, pressing me at such a vulnerable time of day, you know.
vulnerable. Oh, you
I
never.
always feel vulnerable at this time of day. I'm sure I've mentioned it in the past, haven't
Oh, I
I?
apologize.
Haven't
I
I?
didn't realize.
Yes.
I don't
Call my
really,
character into question.
I don't really perceive you as very vulnerable in general. So,
It's a
I
facade.
apologize if I misread that.
But yeah, I mean,
Um, you
any
know,
reason why my actions interest you?
well, if you've been on this earth as long as I have, um, with the possibilities of learning about people more so than, somebody with a body, um, it's very easy to forget about maybe the boundaries.
True,
And
true indeed. A great leader once said to me, "Fool me once, fool me again." I've got no idea what he meant by that, but this could be it. He was a great man indeed.
you sure about that?
No, not really. No, I just met him once. That was all.
I think that's enough, Branwen, for you to roll to try and rid yourself of that burden, having tried to explain it. It seems to me it's quite a rational conversation on your part, so I'm inclined to say that's roll plus sense.
Right. Let me see. What do I have there?
I think there are 2 red dice
Ooh,
on the table. If you click on those, they will
yes.
highlight and then reroll selected.
Ooh, 5 + 2 is a 7.
Something.
Close thing. Okay, so on the common move, seek solace in friendship. On 7+, clear your burden. Yeah. So wise is their counsel that if their heritage differs from your own, you honour that heritage by accepting their patron as a potential source of aid in future. So what that means is, as well as the Christ God, who is your overarching patron, down there on row 55, I'm going to select Woden the Allfather. Currently, you have no favor with Woden, but that doesn't mean you couldn't try to earn it.
Okay.
Quite what
So,
the Christ God will make of that, I don't know. But
yeah, well, I guess. I mean, it doesn't to me. I mean, narratively, it doesn't quite make sense for this in this regard. But
Cenred, what did you say that ended up with Branwen thinking maybe there's something to this Woden that meets more to this Woden than
Well,
meets the
maybe
eye?
that great man I met once that said that classic line could have indeed been Woden in disguise. That is how he travels the earth. And who am I to question a god?
speaking in riddles. All right, yeah.
Um, Gwylog, do you find a way to try to inquire what's bothering Ceri or what's making her? I mean, she has a good line in rhyming couplets, but she seems particularly incoherent at the moment. Is that something you
Um,
want to probe with her?
yeah, I think after we kind of back off from um, the bird, um, you know, Gwylog will say, um, Ceri, I don't want to say that you're not quite yourself, but you do seem a bit, um, well, to be honest, you're a bit more befuddling to me than you have been in the past. Is there something wrong?
And I think Carrie will just sort of very bluntly point at your ears, and then I'm not going to do this in the mic, but blow just a wet raspberry, holds it for 3 to 4 seconds, and then points at his own ears and whistles a little tune, as if to say, "I can hear clearly. It's your ears that are the problem."
You know, Gwylog, I mean, is kind of rubbing his ear now, and you know, yeah, Gwylog, he has a very puzzled look on his face, and is saying, "Well, I think my ears are just fine. But what is it that you hear, Carrie?
Hmm.
What is it that my ears aren't picking up that your ears are?"
Oh, that's a fantastic question. Uh, and I think Carrie will kind of frown for a moment and uh, she carries a staff, and I think she'll like dig in the ground with a staff for a moment. Um, and then she'll look up and she'll say back to you um, in your cadence, what is it that you hear? But the as she is saying that, you can hear. mm, it doesn't sound like language, it sounds like bird song. It sounds like a raven. Well, I mean, it's in a human voice, right? But it sounds like a raven just repeating something back. It doesn't um there's almost an aphasic quality to it.
Now, I'm wondering, I mean, there's no need for me to force this on you,
Mm.
but um, it could be that thinking about what Gwylod has said, that would justify a seeking solace in friendship and perhaps realizing that in order to communicate with the others, you need to really concentrate.
Mhm. I think that makes sense.
Then would you like to roll plus sense?
I would.
Seems
Uh,
in, odd to ask you to roll plus sense, but I think it is about, you know, trying to order your thoughts.
All right, and that is a 5 + 2, 7.
Okay, clear your burden. But
Oof.
Gwylog, what is it that you say that leads Ceri thinking that the old gods have something to offer?
Um, well, I think Gwylog says it's related to that bird call, um, and a belief among my people that um, you know the birds um, the birds flit between heaven and earth, and they are divine messengers, especially when one hears a bird but doesn't actually see any bird around, right? That there's clearly something. I'm always inclined to think, right? If there's a bird call without a physical bird to be seen, it certainly possibly portends some type of supernatural visitation from the old gods.
Because Ceri goes away from this thinking there may be indeed be something to these old gods. So I've added the old gods as another supernatural patron down on row 55. Currently, you have no favor with them, but that doesn't mean that you can't seek to get it if you so choose. In effect, this offers people two sources of potential favor. I think, Gwylog, given that this is fenland that you're coming, and as we see you getting to the bottom of this slope, having had these conversations, the ground gets boggier underfoot, and you begin to see some of these narrow, overgrown waterways that almost like streams in among the reeds, the reed beds. Is it you who takes the lead now, or do you continue to look to Cenred as the person who ostensibly brought the four of you here?
I think Gwylog would. I mean, because this isn't the fen where I was, but it's certainly the geography is similar, right? I mean, I think I know of things to watch out for, things to look for in terms of maintaining, you know, the driest ground you can find, right? And I think you can see that kind of Gwylog has a kind of greater spring in his step, right? Kind of saying, yeah, this is and it will let the others know, things to watch out for, right? Don't step on that log. It's clearly rotted, and things of that sort.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that the risk here is that you need to find a path and or push through some of this undergrowth to get where you're going. And that's what overgrown says on the locations tab. The risk is that you all end up with some level of injury before you get where you're going. But I suppose my question is, where are you going? It's well and good knowing how to manage the risk that this presents, but there's half a square mile of half a kilometer here of bog, of fen, more than that perhaps. So who's going to suggest which way you go?
Don't worry, my friends. I have a keen eyes. Cenred has. I shall survey the landscape, looking for any odd runs in the waterways.
Okay.
Little tribulates running through.
Okay.
Maybe there is just a small hillock or something that could be.
Okay, let's have you roll plus sense to look about you. Remember, folks, roll with something, put a tick next to the attribute. When all four are there, clear them and give yourself
9 plus 2 gives 11.
11. So it doesn't get much better than that. So what can I tell you? 7 plus, you pick 1. I tell you something, or you reveal a threat's weakness. I don't know if there's a threat in play yet, so I will tell you something. I think that you noticed it first as you came over the brow of the hill and overlooked this, is that there appears to be a largish lagoon in one, in the far northwest corner of this fenland. Maybe that's the most obvious feature.
Look, my friends, a lagoon. That's unusual because it should be very small waterways running through here. I learnt that to the southeast of here, where the North folk and the South folk live. Odd people indeed.
Anyone got a better idea?
I think Carrie sort of nods very solemnly and points to Lagoon and says, Lagoon, and then points to himself and says, the loon. And then will smile and I think try to invoke the sight
Oh,
since
yes.
she can communicate again with you. Huzzah.
Fine. So let's have you invoke your gift, which is
Yes,
all about rolling plus favor.
it is, which I think is
And I'm
currently at
guessing this
3.
is favor your original patron, not your newly acquired interest in the old gods, or perhaps not.
I think for the moment, probably her existing patron. Uh, so that'll be 7 plus 3 is 10.
Wow. So on a 10, 7 plus, say how your patron's aid manifests as they empower your gift, but spend favor. So, feel free to dip into the special effects budget. What do we see on screen as you engage with your sight?
Um, I mean, I think we gotta keep leaning into the bird motif, right? And I think Carrie, and maybe only Carrie sees this. No, I think it's more fun if everyone sees it. And there's a pure white dove that flits off in a direction. And I will leave it to you what that direction is, what that place is. And Carrie will point to it and say, "Nope, I'm too slow. Let's go there."
And I think you are pointing in the direction of that lagoon, maybe too grand, larger than expected open water. But on a 10 plus, you also get to pick that your gift has greater impact, scope, scale, or duration, or you gain advantage on the basis of that.
I think it's duration. I think as we move towards the dove, it's still there. It's
Right.
leading us. We'll
Yeah. No,
mount,
I think that makes
perch,
sense.
and just sort of like
Before you confirm that,
groom.
I will say it is possible for your patron to give you back that favor you sacrificed.
Nah, I'll spend it.
Okay. So yeah, this dove circles this open water and comes back towards you and circles you and then begins to move in that direction. So if Ceri leads the way, um, he will have advantage, albeit Gwylog reckons he's the bog expert. So, Ceri, are you prepared to take the lead?
Well, I think Carrie has already left, and you're going to have to catch up to her. Uh, uh, I think Black Henry probably can. I don't think Carrie is especially fast.
No, I
Well,
think
no.
I think we see you kind of skipping from clump of reeds to clump of reeds.
Mhm.
Um, and so in a location move, you roll plus the relevant. Um, I think this is either sense to pick your way or steal to keep your balance when you almost lose it. But you do have advantage, so you get to roll 3 dice and take the top 2.
I like steel. I like that, they're sort of hopping from foot to foot. And there's a moment where like, whoa, are they gonna fall? And perhaps balancing with her staff. Just a huge pain in the butt to try and actually keep up with. All right. Ooh, that is 10 plus 1, 11.
That is 10 plus 1. Wow. So you had advantage going into this. You managed to get to lead the way. So as long as they follow where you go, and it's a bit of a challenge. Anyone got -1 in steel?
Cenred does.
I do.
Kenred,
Me
you're the
too.
only
Oh,
person
and
who
Branwen.
struggles a bit, but
Me too.
not enough to cause a problem. But it is a little bit kind of whoa. We
I
see
won't cut
you
out for
struggling to
this.
keep up. Whereas Gwylog, practiced bog walker that he is, keeps up with some ease. And you find yourself at advantage, Ceri, when you reach the end of this pool, because that was much less difficult than you anticipated. But when you do arrive, and I see, Gwylog coming up alongside you, Gwylog, you know this kind of territory. The dove is circling this, but there's something moving in the water, in this open water, under the surface.
Do you want me to say what that is, or?
I'm interested to know what you do.
Oh, I think um Gwylog, you know, um touches Ceri on the shoulder and points to the ripples um that are out there. And I think um well, let me do I want to
The audience at home is on the edge of their seats saying, I wonder if he's going to do a miracle or wonder again.
yeah, I think I am gonna invoke the gift. And I think what you see Gwylog doing is Gwylog kind of kneels down and on the water starts slapping the water gently to kind of create obviously create a little sound and create a little movement in order to get a better handle on what this thing is and see what kind of reaction he's able to get out of this.
Okay, let's have you roll plus favor.
Okay. And my favor, I think right now is let me just go back. It's 1 right now. So
You could earn another one right this immediate possibility by offering me to mark shade or mark 1 harm on yourself. Offer a little blood sacrifice to the old gods, drip it in the water, never goes amiss.
oh, that's a kind of interesting. Yes. Um, why don't we do that? I will yeah, as I'm kind of down there, I will cut myself a little bit to put some blood in the water as I'm patting it, and so you see, that blood kind of pooling out a little bit.
So you'll find just below your attributes a place where you can mark 1 harm. So put a
Hmm.
tick in that box. But the harm track, it's worth me explaining the harm track. The harm track on row 27, 28, you mark it going downwards. So the first mark is wearied, the second one is wounded, the third one is dying.
Hmm.
Right? So just the top of that first column, wearied. Fine. So that gives you plus 1 favor,
Right.
that sacrifice. So you now roll plus 2.
Yes. All right.
Don't forget to increase your favor, though.
Yeah, but then do I lose the favor immediately
Well,
after?
but yeah,
Yeah, depending
but
on what the
you might roll well enough to get it back. So
correct.
we just need to know you have 2 at this point.
Okay. All right. So here we go. We will. It's good that I did that because I rolled a 5, but with the plus 2, it's a 7.
Wow. So fancy that. Okay,
What,
also
what,
plus. Um, what does your patron reveal to you? Is it something about the location of the power, or what stands between you and the power you are here to retrieve? And that power was very kind of in commas.
I think it's about, because it's this thing that's in the water. I think that's what's between us and the power. But right, I think this does has to reveal something that this is not just a normal bog beast,
No,
right?
this is a very large beast. There is something sinuous, eel-like, or snake-like. Difficult to judge entirely, but it could be 20 or 30 feet long. And it could be, the better part of a meter in diameter. The body is thick. Um, and when you tap the ripples go out and something comes up closer to the surface, and that's where you see this sinuous beast. But at least you know it's there now.
Yeah, well, and I'll say that this is not um this is not a normal fen that we have, or at least this area of the fen is not normal. That beast out there is not to be trifled with, and this is not what we normally
That
find
is a
in fen.
fantastic segue into 7 to 9. The fate picks one. You attract unwelcome attention. Um, as you're watching the sinuous body, the head comes up in front of you and snaps at your hand. It has large jaws. Um, this is a water snake of immense proportions. Um, it has very big jaws, and because of its sinuous nature, quite a long reach. Um, it has two defenses you will have to overcome before you can subdue it. One is hard scales, and the other one is the fact it is so quick, it is swift, and it launches itself out of that water in an effort to grab you and drag you into the water, Gwylog. So I think I need you to confront them. And I have to say, I think this is about speed of movement to avoid them. So
Hmm.
I think you're rolling with steel.
Yeah. Ah, that was a fortunate roll. That was an 11.
That was an 11. Um, so there's no question about it. You certainly evade it. Yeah. Sorry, it wasn't confront. It should have been face a challenge to avoid it. On 10 plus, you successfully do so. The fate picks one. Respite is temporary. So it snaps and then goes back into the water, but it's still there and focused on you. On 10 plus, you also say how you gain advantage from your success, impress your patron enough to gain their favor. I think that's the only options. Yeah. So do you want advantage or do you want to add a favor to make up for the one you just spent?
Um, I think I want to gain advantage.
Fine. So what do we, because is this because you're so used to moving about in these conditions, you just kind of step back knowing there's some solid ground behind you?
Um, yeah, not just that I know the area, but this is certainly an unusual creature, but I've encountered, various bog creatures before, so I think, I kind of know the timing that's needed, and yeah, and also have spied out like where I'm going to make my move in advance. Yeah.
So, Ceri, you are stood next to Gwylog when this happens. As he kind of went down on his knees and tapped the water and then leapt away as this thing snapped at it. It sinks back into the water. What do you do, Ceri? And then I'll come to Branwen and Black Cenred.
I mean, I think Carrie's gonna run and get the others. And Conrad and Branwen, you see them, just sort of hopping back towards you, staff waving overhead. And when you get closer, you can hear that she's saying, "Branwen, snake fin, Conrad, big head." and then mimes big teeth clomping down and will grab whoever is closer and start tugging you. Probably Kenred. I don't know how grabbable Branwen is.
Oh, she's grabbable until she chooses not to be, really. So she is currently corporeal. So who do you want to grab?
Not me.
Hmm. Not you. Yeah,
But
maybe.
I have
back.
I have a plan, and that would hamper it.
Maybe Carrie sort of like lunges towards Kenred, who just dances out of the way, and so we'll grab at Branwen instead and start tugging you back towards where Gwylog is facing off against this monstrous creature.
And Branwen, when you get to the edge of this great kind of pool, the water is now quite disturbed. This thing was lying on the bottom. Gwylog attracted its attention, and now it's realized perhaps it's hungry. What, if anything, do you do, Branwen,
Okay, this
as
is,
Kerry pushes you towards it?
I mean, uh, so I mean, weapons wise, I have an axe and a knife. I don't think they're very useful right now. The other thing I can think of is that the fact that this water snake is so large makes me think, well, it must be an incredibly old creature, and I can empathize with that. And I wonder if if Branwen can invoke their gift to send sights and sounds to this creature rather than receive, or maybe both, as in to try and communicate with it in some way, I guess, somewhat
Hey,
telepathically.
so what is
I
your
don't know.
intention here? Is this to soothe the savage beast, or is this to distract it? What do you hope's going to come out of this?
Soothe to calm, yeah, to basically tell it that we mean it no harm.
Okay, okay. Then let's have you invoke your gift.
Okay, so
Roll
I'm
plus
rolling
favor.
with favor, of course. Give me a sec. Oops. 9 plus 3 is 12.
Wow. So on a 7+, it will spend favor. Um, but what do we see and what do we hear as you invoke this gift? Because, we know that the X-Men opted for this, but I'd like something a little more visual, if I'm honest.
This is a good question then, because I'm also thinking that this is a rather subtle
Then
move.
don't let
I
me
think
distract you. Go with subtle. As long as we know that
I think
this
what
is Branwen doing her thing.
I think what you can see is now not trying to invoke that other move, but like basically whenever I try to do this, I lose some of my what's it called? My focus, and so my corporeal, seeming flickers a little bit, goes slightly more translucent, and um, you know, it again, it is subtle, but it's
Yeah.
surely noticeable if you're looking at me directly. And so, yeah, otherwise, I'm sending sights and sounds. So it's not, I don't think it's going to be noticeable by other
No,
people.
fair enough.
Yeah.
But I think
But
probably
yeah,
we close in on the head of this creature as its active kind of movement under the water. We go under the water and we see it kind of calming and heading down towards the bottom, perhaps.
yeah.
So it is calmer. And I think probably the way to represent that is that you do have advantage, or it is disadvantaged right now. That's the way to play it. Cenred, having avoided Ceri dragging you there, you follow up, and it's kind of gone a lot more placid now, this water.
Hmm. Now, from my vantage point earlier, where I saw this pool, I saw how the waters were running into it, and you get sort of cloudy water and you get clear water in the bog. So I know where the cloudy water's coming in to this bog. So I mean, while I'm a modest kind of guy, so I'll strip off while everybody else is in front of me. I don't like people looking at me naked. Um, and just with my belt and a handful of arrowheads, I will sink into the water, into this cloudy water, and I'm going to biff this thing one. Yep. Underwater, I'm going to yam a fistful of arrowheads in its mouth to try and get round its scaly armor.
Wow.
Can
Right.
Branwen protest at this?
Well, I think the fact that he's done this very quietly. I mean, I have to say, I can only now see that scene in Apocalypse Now where, Martin Sheen comes above the waterline. Um, but I
Well,
am
I
of
guess.
of a generation where that was very marking. So yeah, Kenred, we see you slip into the water and just make your way out and then dive.
And it will be a sort of, hopefully, sort of, it's put me in a good enough position. There is an advantage from my previous look about me. So, yeah, this is just a forceful, horrendously quick attack. Get these things in its mouth and see if it bites me hand.
Fair enough. That advantage, that means that it remains disadvantaged from Branwen's efforts. So go ahead, confront them. This seems to me to be steel.
I think so, because I wouldn't be an XP hound otherwise, would I? 3 dice. I'm at -1. Take the highest two. There's a 1, a 5, and a 4. 9, -1, 8.
Okay,
Probably don't get me hand out in time.
on 7+, you negate that defense, so that is it. We no longer have to worry about its hard scales. It's just when it does stop being disadvantaged, that swift strike is going to come back in play. But they pick 1. Yeah, I think they inflict harm as established on you, which is, in their case, big jaws, which you've just jammed them in. I think you do get um, scored by those teeth. So mark 4 harm. So that is wearied, wounded, dying,
One
and the
more
top of
wounded.
the second column. So, there is blood in the water.
2 people's blood in the war. He voluntarily did it.
Um, Gwylog, you've seen this happening. What, if anything, do we see you do? Because now you can see, this struggle going on in the water, blood beginning to color the water, and everyone suddenly realizes what Cenred has done. He's got in the water and he's stabbing the thing. What do you want to do, Gwylog? It is still at this moment disadvantaged.
I think I'm gonna do another um another miracle. Um and I think this one is you know I see my companion in the water and I see that he may have done some damage to the beast, but he's also been harmed. So I think I'm going to dive in and see, we he has caused some damage to it, right? I'm going to see if we can finish the job. Um, and I think what I'm aiming for here is the empower my body to a feat of great strength, right? To kind of grab onto that beast and neutralize its swiftness.
Oh, yes, right. So Gwylog is going to wrestle the beast. We've calmed it. Now we'll wrestle it to a submission. Let's have you roll plus steel then. I will give you advantage on the basis of you have impact. Oh, invoke your gift. Let's see if it works. I'm
Yeah,
getting too
well, I do have,
excited.
and I do have advantage from that previous face the challenge.
You do.
Yeah. So this will be 3.
3 dice plus favor.
Okay, there's 1 blue die and 2 red ones on mine. So let's see. So I have a 5, and a 3. So that would be a 10.
You guys are killing me tonight. Okay, so 7 plus. I mean, is there a physical transformation, or is it just that we see, the fervor of the gods in your eyes as we cut to an underwater camera and see you wrestling with this thing?
Yeah, I think that there is a physical, I mean, at least I think that there's a kind of um a kind of purple aura that is kind of radiating around Gwylog. It's faint, but yeah, and Gwylog, maybe kind of latches on to the beast right behind its head, right? Um, to kind of slow it down.
Okay, so it is no longer particularly swift. But you scored well enough to get the 10 plus. Your gift has greater impact, scope, scale, or duration, or you disadvantage it again.
Can you not
Or do
move
you
to
want
humble?
that favor back?
Hmm?
Or do you want that favor back?
Hmm.
They now have no defense. Can he not instantly move to humble?
No, because we're not using the move confront them, are we? We're invoking the
Oh.
gift.
Okay, so greater scope scale. I mean, would it be possible for me to, like, when slowing it down, actually kind of start forcing it onto the quote unquote shoreline of the lagoon?
Yes, I'm very happy for you to kind of have the head and literally kind of heave the head out of
Right.
the water at Branwen and Ceri's feet.
Yeah. Take it out of
Ceri,
its element.
when Gwylog heaves this thing out, and Cenred comes out of the water, um, up onto the among the reeds. Ceri, what do you do if anything?
I think they are pretty discomfited by this and scream and just bop it in the head with their stick.
Well, it has no defenses, so that counts as humbling them, Ceri. So would you roll plus steel, please?
I certainly would.
It is
That is one.
disadvantage, so you get to roll 3 dice.
Excellent. That will be 7 plus. Did I say 1? I think that's an 8. That's an 8.
7 plus. They're at your mercy. Do you spare them so they owe you a debt? Oh no, that won't apply to them because they're not part of a faction. Or spare them or end them.
I think Branwen, you have like half a second to say something.
Uh, well, depends. Does the snake look seriously injured? As in,
No,
there's no.
I think that Gwylog has kind of suppressed it as has kind of wrestled it to submission, but it is not yet dead. It's got some arrowheads, some the arrow bitten off in its mouth, but
Oh goodness, I don't know. Like the player me knows that it would probably make sense to kill it. My character is really displeased about this whole thing because they were actually being truthful when they tried to calm it down. So they would probably tell you like, listen, this
I
thing
think
hasn't
listen,
done.
we is what you have sense for.
I mean, Xena, it's perfectly fine. I mean,
Yeah.
you can just swim off into another part of the thing. That's if you want to save it, say your piece and
yeah,
Kerry will make a decision. Kerry
Yeah,
might not
exactly.
listen to you.
that
I
is
think
what
it
the
would
rules are
have.
for. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, I think in the heat of the moment, right? The stick is coming down. Branwen's like, "Listen," and Carrie has a moment to decide between hitting the top of the head and knocking it out, and going through the eye. And I think he goes for the eye.
You drive it into the eye, and the thing spasms. The water is whipped into a foam almost as this thing's muscle spasms see it out. And in its last action, it coughs its last breath. And out at your feet, Ceri, comes a small brooch, no bigger than that, inscribed with or cast with a hammer.
And I think Ceri will sort of scoop down and pick it up and hold it up to the sun and say, "No eyes, a prize."
And I think, Gwylog lets it go and it kind of slides back into the water. More blood on the water. Cenred comes up, gasping, drags himself out, much the worse for wear, bleeding profusely from the arm that he stabbed the beast with. Branwen.
Branwen will probably be shaking their head and just going like, "Well, at least it had a swift death."
Cenred.
That escalated quickly, didn't it? Way out of hand.
Ceri is holding this thing up, and it's glinting. It has the hammer of Tyr, one of Woden's sons, on it. What do you do?
Oh, Ceri, didn't I forget to tell you it's my birthday? Give us the precious. Give us the precious. No, I'll bide my time. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, there was no time on this. That's fine. We're fine at the moment.
And I think that is where we'll take our break. Sorry, I thought I could get done on the hour, but shall we be back in our seats at 20 past the hour?
Sounds good.
See you then.
Great.
We come back from our commercial break to find our heroes on the they've made their way out of the fen. They're on this grassland rolling up to a slight rise, probably sat about panting. Certainly a couple of them are very wet. Ceri has this little charm come brooch. Cenred, you're in a pretty poor condition.
I am, and looking pain's balm address another's pain. So that's not really useful on me, is it?
It isn't really, is it?
I'm going to look at Gwylog and look at his miner and think, that's a poor trade, isn't it? Poor trade indeed. Yeah, well, I'll rip the bottom of my cloak and as best I can turn around and say, "Oh, I hope I don't die of this." I could, could die.
It would be face a challenge to treat your own wound, Cenred. And no one's stepping up, so let's have you roll to face a challenge to treat your own wound.
Okay. I'm gonna pray.
Oh, roll plus favor.
Yep.
Okay. Well, remember the way that works is that when you believe your patron will offer help, roll but roll plus favor instead of an attribute. But if you achieve 7+, it will cost you. So let's have you roll 2d plus 3. I think is your favor 3 at the moment.
Indeed, it is. A 6 and a 3 plus 3, 12.
Well, that's okay, isn't it?
Indeed, it is.
That will cost you a favor. 7+, you succeed, but the fate picks 1. You are going to remain wearied. I'm going to leave you with 1 of those harm. Yeah.
Okay.
So you clear 3 of the 4, clearing from the last one to the first one. On 10+, you also say how you gain advantage from your success, impress your patron enough to gain their favor, or impress a mortal NPC. There are no mortal NPCs here. In what way do you think that your efforts will gain Woden's favor.
That was a mighty beast, you know, and alone I stepped into the water to face it with only some arrows in my hand. So I think the sheer sort of task at hand and what was achieved with so little uh, will impress Woden.
I agree. Mark favor. So give yourself another favor with Woden. Remember that your Fey, the offer of the Fey crown is that when you return that to the Fey, you will get a favor.
Indeed. And the aim is still to return. So I've filled up all my XP track now.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because I love
Well,
XP. Love
okay.
it.
In which case, clear it and mark an
Yes.
XP on your track.
I know I've marked all of them now.
Oh, so even that's so you get to get one of those improvements. So folks, just to follow through this, so you know you're familiar. Once the XP track on row 67 is full, you clear it, and there are a range of improvements that you can choose from. And in Cenred's path, this is add one to steel, add one to subtle, add a. That's wrong. It should be a reformed move.
It does say it.
I think some. Well, Xena knows my penchant for sloppy cut and paste. So that should be a reformed move.
Mine says a reformed move.
Say again.
It says a reformed move. The top one does, at least.
Right.
The
The next
box.
one down doesn't. That's odd. The top one is, yeah, I've not copied them down. You're fine. You take a reformed move, my friend. You don't need to tell me now, but tell me in a bit.
Well, no. What's the that's worth a lot. I think that's the pickpockety type one, isn't it?
It is.
It is. I'm going to go with that.
Going to use that.
It's a bit careful. I have to work with you with this because you can't use moves against other players. So give me a bit of time. I'll work something out to relieve you of such a thing.
I could also see, because you rolled tremendously successfully to sort of care for your wounds, and I think Ceri has just been sort of like knees tucked up with her chin on them, just sort of like watching you with big eyes as you I don't, how much do you ham up the amount of pain that you're in?
The arm's nearly falling off, I tell you.
I'm dying.
I can hardly feel it. Look, I can't control it.
And I think Ceri is just giving you, sort of huge, guileless. I think they've got very pale, sort of gray eyes. And then as you finish your menstruations, we'll sort of gently come forward and just pin the brooch onto your bandages and give it a very gentle pat and say, "Arm harm."
Indeed, but thank you, my friend. That goes a long way. It cements our relationship to such a degree. A warming touch indeed. It will not be forgotten, my friend. Not be forgotten.
They look tremendously pleased.
Ceri, did you think he might steal it?
I don't know. I don't think that Ceri has a great sense of theft and ownership and property rights. I think Ceri also just sort of like picks things up and puts things down as it pleases him. I think it's more that this is like a kid offering you some crushed dandelions to make you feel better. Is the sort of vibe here.
Fine, okay. Because I was going to challenge Cenred about how was he going to dishonestly obtain it, but we've got round that. What Cenred does need to think about is how he's going to get this to the Fae, literally or by other means, don't know. But I see you now trekking back towards the main trail south, because that was the deal. A slight detour, and then head south further into Dira. So Cenred, have you given any thought to how you will get this back to the Fae?
The Fae always strike me as creatures of the moon, so I think I will wait up at night, maybe call them then. How I
Uh,
still don't know, but I mean, shouting "Fae, Fae, come to me" is could be good enough. Who knows?
I think I'm prepared just to have you sit out on the next cloudless night.
Hmm.
As maybe a thin sliver of moon makes it look like the sky is smiling at you. Um, and as you sit awake, uh, there is a slight whoosh, whoosh in the grass, and the fae that you met on the trail kind of emerges from the dark, by what means we know not, and says, "And have you obtained what you set out to find?"
Of course, my word is my bond, my friend. But it came at great cost.
I see you are bandaged.
Hmm. Luckily, the old father looked well upon me and was pleased.
Yes, yes. May I have it?
And what is in return, my friend?
My crown offers you favor.
Very
Call
well.
on them, and they will serve.
Very well. A deal is a deal, as I said. And I hope it's honoured at your side, as indeed it has been honoured on my side, as I place into his hands
The
the
brooch.
brooch.
And he looks at it and he says, my crown is very pleased. They will answer your call, as they answer all calls. Um, but I wonder whether Woden will be pleased with you. This sigil of his son will be very useful to us.
Mm.
Turns and drifts into the shadows. Would you remove a favor from Woden, please?
Don't think I've got any.
Well, you can go down to -3.
Oh, well, that's fine then.
Um, how do we know that Woden is annoyed at you?
I think the moon is instantly obscured. The
Big
night
cloud,
turns very dark very quickly.
thunder in the distance. Fine. And so you continue on your way south.
Can Branwen have been watching this?
Of course she never sleeps. I tell you what, Branwen, I'll let you face a challenge to see whether you were noticed or not, and
Oh,
whether
sure. What would that be then? With subtle, I guess?
I think subtle, cunning plan. This can you hide yourself in such a way?
I mean, I could have invoked my true nature, but I
You
guess I
could,
wasn't. I don't know.
but
Is
well, no, you could, but that would be it for the session. So you wouldn't have it
yeah.
available.
Yeah, why just stay like that for the rest of the session? No, we'll just roll.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll roll with subtle, I guess. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that unfortunately is a 5.
Well, well, well. So on a 5, Mark shade at last. A bit more shade. Um, expect the worst now or later. I think I'm going to keep that in my back pocket, Branwen.
Sure.
Cenred notices you, and that exchange goes on when he knows you're not watching. Yeah. Um, and as we do on these occasions, the camera follows you, Lord of the Rings style, as you make your way south. And in the distance, we see some smoke trails as of a settlement. This is our second settlement. It is the settlement of Oselsted, and we are going to create it much as we created Gundholm. So if you check out the Oselsted tab, you will see that I am interested in asking you to describe what you see when you get to. You'll also need access to the Arriving tab. When the heroes first come in sight of Oselsted, um, the players have the opportunity to begin to shape the theme of the darkness in this place, the reason their heroes' patrons have guided them here. So let me start this time with Ceri. Ceri, say something about the settlement, such as something unusual, concerning, or suspicious they can see from a distance, an emotion or memory the sight of the settlement stirs in you, uh, perhaps a vision or dream you can call back to, that this, or premonition that this prompts, or something even more flavorful.
Hmm. Uh, sorry, I've got several ideas and I don't want to do too many, to make sure that there's lots of negative space. Um, I think there are, what season is it? Did we say?
I think we said that it was summer, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've
So
toyed with moving through the year a season at a time with these settlements, but I've not thought it through yet. So summer it is.
okay, so still summer. So I think we see a bunch of sort of decorations and floral garlands and maybe some pennants. Um, and Carrie sort of as we crest this rise stops short and is just sort of frowning, uh, concerned, kind of tipping their head back and forth. Um, and I think had a dream about a feast, a festival where everyone's trenchers should be full, everyone should have enough, there should be bounty. But in their dream, only some had any, and many had none. And I think I don't know who'd be standing near them. Maybe it's Cenred. We'll sort of tug down Cenred's hood, and again that way they have, and sort of point and say, "No feast for the least."
Oh, the beast lurks here, my friend, does it? We must investigate indeed.
Okay, what I put down as my aid memoir here is dream about a feast or festival, decorate with garlands, food not evenly distributed. Yeah?
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let me come to Gwylog. Is it something allegorical like a dream? Or is it something you can see from a distance, or some feeling this evokes in you, or something else?
Muted.
Yeah, but by when you say by this, you mean the garlands
Oh no,
and
sorry. Just as we come to you see the settlement for the first time. What does it evoke? Is it a feeling? Do you see something that is untoward from a distance, or does this prompt the recollection of a dream as it did for Ceri? It can
um
build on the garlands.
mhm.
The idea is to try to create something reasonably coherent as the hints of darkness here.
Yeah, so maybe so I think I'll describe something unusual um or suspicious that I can see from a distance. Um I think from a distance, I can see that there's uh there is off to the side a an enclosure where there are, it looks like just a small number of people who are being guarded. I mean, they're kind of like in that enclosure, but it seems like there's like a couple, from what I can see, like it looks like there are a couple guards
Okay.
um, keeping them in there.
Uh, Oselsted has an enclosure with people being guarded. Reasonable?
Hmm.
Yeah. What about Branwen?
I think them seeing these people that are being guarded, they're reminded of another festival from, way back when there would always be some kind of human sacrifice being made. And I think that feels, hmm, I think it brings up very mixed feelings. Um, a nostalgia, which sounds weird, but yes, also feeling rather a little bit unsettled themselves also.
Well, I think that nostalgic has to be in my description. Nostalgic recollection of an ancient inverted commas festival involving human sacrifice, dot, 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 which disturbs her. Does that seem like a fair aid memoir?
Yes, probably disturbs them because of, well, for two reasons, but also because, oh, why is this mixed with nostalgia? I mean, I guess it's because back then you had a body and all of that, but still,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, body and blood of Christ in a very real sense. Okay. Okay. Wow. And finally, Black Cenred.
Sorry, the cat is taking over my computer screen. I'll just get rid of him. Yeah. I think there's a sort of a marker outside the town. I don't want to say a sign. Um, Maybe a large rock, and there's a large quantity of now sort of quite dried in the sun eels
Wow.
spread on this rock, mounded all over this rock. Um, and Kenred will look at it and go, eels. Reminds me of where we just come from. Don't really like eels.
Large rock at the boundary spread with eels dried by the sun. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Those are our signs and portents. That's what we're working with as our starting points for threads here. Okay. Next, significant people. This is where you go to the Oselsted tab, and each of you is going to come up with a descriptor and a role for people here. Again, I think I'll start in the same order. Ceri, who do you want to
Yes.
be a notable presence here?
Let me roll a couple d6 really quickly. All right, that's a 2 and a 2 and a 4 and a 4. Oh, doubles. So that'll be a cowardly crafter.
Cowardly Cart Crafter. Okay.
Mhm. Uh,
And
who
if
I
you,
will
this is
name in just a
a
second.
Saxon kingdom for reference, so you might want to give them a name, but I'll let you do that. I've added a cowardly crafter to the village. Gwylog, who are you
Yeah.
interested in involving here?
I'll just go on and do some rolls here. A 3, 6, and a 1, 4. So, um, an infirm, um, champion.
Oh, right. An infirm champion. Okay, I've added them to the hall. You can come up with a name and some pronouns. That'd be great. Branwen.
Yeah, I already rolled, and it's a dishonest captive.
Ooh, right. Dishonest captive. Again, pronouns and a name would be great. And finally, Cenred.
So let's get the dice. Lose first number. 6 and 4, 6 and 4. Vicious. 4 and 4. No, we've already had a crafter. I'll have to reroll that. 4 and 6. A vicious healer.
Ooh, that's a strange combination.
So to get healthy, I need to lose 5 points of blood. Vicious. It's only a bite.
Yes. No, this knife is very sharp. Don't worry. And then I will come up with the lord or lady of the settlement. 5 and 5 doesn't give me much in the way of options. Oh, secretive. Secretive lord. Let's see, we come up with a name. 1 and 3 or 3 and 1. 1 and 3 is Lind. 3 and 3. Lindfrig. In fact, that sounds more female, so I'm going to make it secretive lady Lindfriga. There we go. So we have the secretive lady Lindfriga, who's the landholder. We have her infirm champion, Derwin. Is that a direct choice, Derwin?
Huh? Yeah, that was
Yeah, I mean, great books. Bard, the Cowardly Crafter, and I'm still looking for names and pronouns on our dishonest captive and the Cowardly Crafter.
Sorry, can I just ask, where was the name inspiration
Okay.
stuff again? Oh my God. Okay, I'm literally just seeing it. For some reason, I don't know. Anyway, I'm seeing it now. I'm gonna have a look
Yeah,
briefly.
it's probably just off the bottom of your screen. That's
No, I was already there. Anyway, I'm gonna have a look.
So what I want to do, if I start with our infirm champion, I've already forgotten who created our infirm champion, but I want them to tell me as we zoom in on the settlement, what do we see that communicates to the audience that this champion is infirm?
So I mean, I
Is this
think
infirmity of age or injury or don't know?
we could how would this be? I mean, I was thinking about like the fact that they're currently blind, like they've had some injury and that they clearly are wearing the regalia that would indicate that they're a person of importance. They seem to be, I think that they seem to be young and quite fit, but they currently have um, a notable large bandage wrapped
Over their
around their
eyes.
eyes. Mhm.
Fine. That's quite an infirmity for poor old Derwin to manage under. Who created Bard, our cowardly crafter? What do we see that communicates either their role or some sense of their character?
Hmm. I think Bard is a rope maker, because we know that they've got eels and you can use like traps for eels. But maybe this is a more of a fishing village, or there's at least some fishing going on. And we see Bard sort of knocking at a door timidly, and we can see that there's smoke coming from the chimney. And Bard has, hat in his hand. He says, "You still haven't paid me for the last order. I have left another 20 feet here, but I do need to be paid for this as well." And just sort of waits, and no one answers the door, and then sulks away.
I like that. Thank you. What about Beormund? Beormund, our dishonest captive. Is this captive in that enclosure, for instance? I'm curious.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. It just felt so fitting when I rolled that up. And I think if I got it correctly, it says, well, I chose a higher status suffix. So maybe he really sticks out among the other captives because nobody else is dressed quite so well. Um, yeah, I'm, I think he's probably really, well, outraged at being shoved into this enclosure with all these other people. And think, yeah, there's just been a great, what's it called? Injustice done to him. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
No, that works for me. Outrage over injustice, dot, dot, dot. And finally, Kala the Vicious Healer.
Well, let's give Beoman something else to be worried about. Just outside the pen, on another flat rock. We haven't seen it, but clearly it must have happened literally just before we crested the top of that hill. Um, there's somebody that's been cut, sort of tied onto this rock and carved open, and standing at the or kneeling at the side of Calla is somebody sort of with some sort of skin disease, sort of flaky skin or something, and Carla's sort of rooting around in the guts of this person that's clearly just been sacrificed and is daubing stuff on the skin of this person and shouting some words of healing, possibly. Yes. Oh, I was like, oh, that doesn't look nice. Poor
Right.
whoever that was.
I've just noticed the last thing you put down 10 minutes ago in the chat was healing takes a large toll.
Did for that person.
Um, quite prescient. Oh, wow. This is a very rich cast we're dealing with today. Wow. Fine. That's great. What about a couple of locations nearby? Let me go back round to T and ask what do you want to describe the location or do you want to say what the location is? And the available locations are on the locations tab if you're
Thank
interested
you.
in doing it that way, or you can find it on the Oselsted tab.
Now, I can't help but notice that Eel Pond is not one of the possible locations. But I'm going to say river. I think there is a river nearby.
Okay, so we have a river. Okay. What kind of river, Robbie?
Um, I think um, let's go with um, let's say overgrown, right? I mean, it's a river, but there's like a lot of vegetation kind of coming up so that it has a very strange look, right? It doesn't look like a normal river anymore because of all uh, that plant growth, and also
So
maybe also trees that are
yeah,
like,
so banks are quite far apart, but
yeah,
most of it is vegetation with a constrained watercourse in the middle.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Zena, do you want to say what the other place is like, or do you want to say what the place is?
I think I want to describe it, and I think I
Okay.
would like to use treacherous.
Okay. So we have a treacherous something. What is treacherous in the vicinity, Paul?
Uh, hmm, um, I want to say sacred place. But hard to say how they could be treacherous unless they're about to fall over on somebody. That's a bit treacherous, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, it'd be
yeah.
easy just to continue the river into something, but no, yeah, let's have a treacherous sacred place.
Okay. Okay. So we have an overgrown river and a treacherous sacred place in play. Okay. Um, we're about up to our second break, so I'm going to suggest that we take a second break. And if you want to think about the nature of the inciting incident, I will be asking. Oh, let's do the inciting incident first. Let's finish arriving, and then we'll take a 5 minutes. So I'm now looking at the arriving tab. The shadows manifest. As the heroes approach the settlement, the fates will ask them to build on the developing fiction. Frame the opening scene by agreeing where and therefore when the inciting incident takes place. So I'm going to stick with the same order because then I can remember it and alter it for our next settlement. Starting with T. Is this during the morning as you approach the settlement's boundary? Is it during the afternoon somewhere in the village as you make your way to the hall to announce your arrival? Or is it at dusk in the Great Hall where you are being offered hospitality?
We did morning last time, so let's do
Okay.
afternoon.
Afternoon. So you're making your way through the village. Okay. So you're in the village, and this will give me something to think about when it's finished. Let me go to Robbie. What is the nature of the inciting incident? Is there a heated conversation between NPCs? Does something supernatural occur? Or does someone or something make a surprise or unexpected entrance or arrival?
Um, maybe I think last time we did the heated conversation, but let's go with something supernatural occurs.
Okay,
Um,
fine.
and do I define what that is?
No, I'm going to go to somebody else to do that.
Okay.
So let me go to Zina. Do you want the fates will ask a hero what they feel, another what they hear, and finally ask another what they see that confirms the presence of the supernatural. So do you want to feel, hear, or see something?
I think I want to hear something, and I think
Okay.
it's once again sort of the whispers on the wind that are
Whispers
um
on the wind.
yeah.
Okay. Cenred, what do those whispers make you feel?
Uneasy.
And how do we know that this is because I think we'll layer something over the soundtrack of whispers. Are they saying something that makes you feel uneasy, or is it that
Turn away. Turn away.
Yes, why not? That's good, isn't it?
that's great? Okay. And that we will pick up there when you come back from a 5 minute break. It's just about on the hour, 5 past the hour.
Sounds good.
I'll see you then. Back from our final commercial break of this episode, and we see the heroes walking through the settlement up towards the Great Hall to present themselves and seek hospitality, as anybody would. When, as we heard just before the break, there are these whispers on the wind. And Cenred, you are the first to identify, turn back, turn back, turn away, turn away. And Branwen, you then realize they aren't just formless whispers, they are saying that. And then Gwylog and Ceri, when the other two kind of stop as if to listen, you pick up on it as well. So let me start with Cenred. What, if anything, do you do?
I will turn to my friends and say, the omens are strong, my friends. Should we go somewhere else? I heard it.
Anybody
Did
respond?
you not? Did you not hear it? It could be the gods.
I think Branwen would try and invoke their gift right now, to be honest.
Okay. No cutting to the chase. Let's see that gift go.
All right.
So invoke sights and sounds. Your patron sometimes lets you send or receive sights or sounds from places normally denied you. So what are you looking for, or what are you looking to do?
Well, I'm thinking, oh, that's a good question. Because I was wondering if I could just have a somewhat of a clarifying sight of what it is
Yeah,
that is
I thought you might. And to be
endangering
honest,
me.
I think that's treading on the sight.
Yes, true. Well, then maybe it would be sights and sounds from, this warning whisper to see, where it's coming from, or whether I can learn any more about
Do you want to try
the
to
context of the
communicate with
warning.
what is that what we're talking about
Yes.
here? Okay, fine. Let's have you invoke your gift, roll plus favor, to see whether your patron is as interested as you are.
5, 3, 8, plus 3 is 11.
Oh, that's very good. Do you want? That means you don't have to spend favor if you don't want to, or you could extend your gift to greater impact, scope, scale, or duration, or gain advantage if that seems reasonable.
I think I would want to. Well, it depends on whether or not you will tell me something about this now, or whether
Well,
I
yeah. I
should
mean,
frame this.
you told me what you wanted your gift to do, and you've
Yes,
success. So yeah, I'm going to tell you something of what it
right.
does. Yeah.
Well, can I make my choice for the 10
After
plus after
that,
that?
okay, yes, fair enough. Um, two things, because you rolled so well. One, this is the whisperers of spirits, other spirits in this place. I don't think I can tell you any more than that at this point. But I will allow you to communicate with them if you wish. But the other thing is that one of the villagers is staring at the four of you, and is kind of wide-eyed looking at you, and then looks across the settlement to where Kala, the healer, is viciously going about her gory business. And you get a slight sense that maybe they are hearing something different. There's more than one channel at play here. Yeah?
Okay.
Does any of that help you narrow down which of those 10 plus benefits you want?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna ask the others probably what you think. I'm torn between having greater scope or gaining advantage.
Because I think if you went for scope, I would allow you to look about you, i.e., communicate with them and ask a question.
Yeah, maybe let's go with that then. I guess I'm spending favor then.
Spend
No,
favor.
not -2, it's 2. All right.
And then roll plus sense.
And then I have to roll again. Okay.
Yeah, to look about you.
That's fine. All right, hang on.
Yeah, you've created the fictional positioning to do something you wouldn't otherwise be able to do.
5, that is a 7, I think.
Yeah. Sense is 2.
Yes.
Then on a 7 plus, pick one. I think I think I'll give you an option here. Do you want to know something? You ask me a question. Or do you want me to reveal these spirits' weakness?
Ooh. Is it? Oh, so does that mean the spirits are the threat then, I guess?
They could be a threat. Time will tell if they are the threat. What do you want?
I think then I want to know something, as in I would like to ask something.
Ask me a question.
Yeah, what is the nature of this warning? What is the threat here?
And the whispers change and they say, strangers die here.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
They die to feed the living.
Ooh, Paul, is this wish fulfillment? Yeah, I think I will communicate that to to the rest of my my companions.
So, I mean, this adds rather more weight to Cenred saying, do you think we should turn away? Ceri,
Yes,
what are you making of this? Because your reaction to events is always
can't believe I'm saying this, but I
interesting.
agree with Kenred.
Yeah, I think Carrie, while this conversation has been happening, has become a little bit bored, and is just sort of squatting in the road and trying to collect the nicest looking stones from the road. And every so often, we'll sort of look up and see what they notice, and then go back to looking at the stones in the road. And I think in their own special way, they are also trying to get a read on the vibe of this place. Because I don't. It sounded like Carrie didn't hear these whispers. Um,
Okay, I'm reading into that, triggering your gift of the sight.
I almost wonder if this is more look about you.
Oh,
Like
fair
this is
enough.
just
Yeah,
sort of
more
mundanely.
mundane. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah, look about you. Roll plus sense.
absolutely. Listen, I'm trying to get through all those stats. That is a 7 plus 2, so that is a 9.
Okay, so on a 9, I think, is there something particular that you're interested in noticing? Or are you
Hmm.
just fishing?
Speaking of fishing, I think Carrie's hungry. And all of this discussion of, you know, devouring, etc. Um, I think, I think he's really interested in sort of learning more about other food here, that maybe Carrie gets to eat. And I think, you know, there's some sniffing of the wind, and then a little nose wrinkle because mostly I think right now she smells sun-dried eel, delicious, uh, and sort of like peering. Because we're in the village, right? So sort of peering around and seeing if, you know, you can get a little peek at those cook
Yeah,
hearths.
yeah. Well, I think that something food related.
Hmm.
I think that sat on a tree stump outside the Great Hall is the village's, the lady's champion, who we'll come to know as Derwin. Um, but he's sitting there with this bandage round his eyes, obviously unable to see anything. But he's surrounded by a group of villagers, and they're saying, but she has to release some. We don't have enough food. We're I can't feed my children. I can't feed, you know, it. can she not release some grain or something? Okay, does that seem like a suitable answer to your question?
I think so. And it's a little bit of slant rhyme. I, you know, she'll sort of stand up and point at the eel and point at these people and say, fishes, loaves, can't co's.
And finally, Gwylog, what do you make of all of this, or what do you do at this point?
Now, if I hear the villagers saying, "Can't she do something about that?" I mean, do I pick up that this is a reference to um, the lady?
I think I'm very prepared to have a distinguished graying lady with long braids come to the door of the hall, having heard this conversation going on outside with Derwin, and saying, "Get gone, get gone, get gone. You know I have released all I can. Now be gone, be gone. Things will improve. Go." And the villagers scatter. The sense you get is that they were hoping that Derwin would intercede on their behalf with the lady of the village.
I think Gwylog will approach the lady and um, try to convince her to show some hospitality to us so that that we are travelers. And for this, I have been holding, this was as a result, let me go to my, um, I've been holding, I put it in my notes. Due to the shared campfire, you learned something about one of the yet to be visited settlement NPCs. Hold one to spend gain advantage with respect to them.
Yeah.
So
and what we now all realize is this was that settlement.
Mhm. And that during that campfire, they told me, they described the lady and maybe I got like some sense of how to make the correct approach to her, you know, um, maybe little phrases like, uh, by the um, by the sacred eels of this place, may we please, you know,
Yeah.
depend upon some
Yeah,
hospitality.
I think a little flashback to that campfire where that is clarified. So yeah, go ahead, roll to convince her. It seems to me that this is rolling with subtle,
Mhm.
but you have advantage.
Yes, and this will also get me my final check. So
Not that that's important, of course, but
yeah, but my subtle is -1, but I do get the
aha,
advantage. So I
that's
mean,
why it's the last one to get a look.
yes, yeah. So I'm rolling 3. Oh, this is not good though. I have a 5, and then a -1. So that will unfortunately, I rolled a 3, a 2, and a 2.
Wow. So
I'm
I will
prepared
mark.
to step in and assist.
But did
I
you
think
use your advantage though?
yeah,
What?
no, that was on
Oh,
three
right, okay.
dice.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was on 3 dice. Yeah.
Kenred, what do you think you might be able to do?
Um, well, I've got good patter. Um, it-
So
I'm gonna.
you've noticed Gwylog going up that last kind of 10 yards to the 10 meters to the hall. What do you do?
Uh, I'm going to sort of. He looks as if he's failing a bit, with what he's saying to her, and just a look on her face. It's like, oh no, this is going badly. So I will say, my friend is a traveller from the south, my lady. He does not know the customs of these people. I humbly apologise if he has caused you any discredit. That was definitely not his intention.
I think deploying your subtle tongue gets you to roll to help another hero with subtle.
2 dice. Uh, +1. It's not my best stat, but let's see what I can do for you, Gwylog. Oh, that's even worse than your roll, my friend. That's a 2 and a 1. So
So,
4.
so I get to mark shade twice. Thank you for that. Filling the dreary track. Um, and the effect of that is that you fail and the original move becomes a 6-. Well, it already was. You both suffer the consequences of that. So convince them on a 6-. Expect the worst now or later. I think the worst is now. Um, and she says, you will enjoy the hospitality of my hall that I think you deserve. And she disappears into the hall. Um,
Could have
Branwen,
ended up in the pit.
Branwen, you've had a bit of communication with whatever the spirits of the dead here. Do you want to do anything with that, or have we finished our inciting incident?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we've clearly already decided to come in rather than turn around and go. Um, so I think they are quite interested in what in this other person who was looking at us with so much interest and who seemed to be listening to other things. But I'm not sure how to go about that.
I think that's probably I think that's a follow-up to our inciting incident. So I'm going to call the inciting incident at this point and then ask you what you want to do next.
Yeah, okay.
So I want to clarify, I'm going to make this a slightly more challenging settlement. So the depth of shadow here is 3, not 2. But Branwen, I am going to offer you the opportunity to phrase an insight from what you have learned so far, or what you feel you might know so far. So you will find that on the Oselsted tab, where it says Insights. And I'm curious what insights you think you might have gained, or what insight you might have gained.
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, yeah, I guess strangers aren't safe here, or like, they tend to, I don't know, how do you say that?
A line of a song. They eat strangers, don't they?
They eat strangers, don't they? Yeah, why not? They eat strangers here, yeah.
They eat strangers, don't they? Okay, if
Which I don't think is as much of a danger to Branwen, but to anybody else it is.
yeah, okay. So yeah, I think I'm going to cut then to ask you what you do. That's the end of our inciting scene. I would be inclined to cut to hospitality at dusk. But do you want to do anything with the rest of the day before you get to eat whatever she chooses to give you? Zena, you talked about the staring man who was looking at you and then looked across at the vicious healer.
Yeah.
He's
I think
carrying, he's got wrapped around himself a kind of several, 10 or 15 meters of rope of for net making, perhaps. He is our cowardly crafter.
oh, it's him. Okay.
Yeah, and he's staring at you. When you look at him, you roll seeming human.
Yes, I
Because
was.
he's been staring at you for some little
Oh, I
time.
roll. Sorry, now I understood you.
Oh, sorry,
Yes.
yes, you're right.
Excuse me, I just didn't hear that. Yeah, okay, I guess. What do I roll that with again?
You roll plus favor.
Oh, well, that's good, I guess. Let's see. It's a 7. No, yeah,
7.
no, it should be a 7. Yes.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, any mortals you encounter during the session are inexplicably suspicious of you. So I'll tick that to show that we've done it. Um, any mortals you encounter during the session are you make social rolls at disadvantage. I think our cowardly crafter, rope maker, was inclined to back off from strangers, but he is backing off at pace from you. What do you do? What did he see that frightened him even more?
I'm not sure. I think maybe he just saw me. Maybe I was too focused on trying to, yeah, on listening to, other
And you know,
unearthly
don't you, that
voices.
when you listen and when you communicate, you get a little bit hazy around the
Yes.
edges.
And maybe he saw that and that scared him off. I can't think of anything better, sorry.
So you will need to catch up with him. I don't want to use the word pursue, but you will need to catch up with him if you want to talk to him, or you can give it up as a bad job.
I wonder if as he backs up, he might back up into Carrie.
Yes. Of course he will. So fixated is he on what he thinks he's seen and what he thinks he's heard that he backs into you. You're behind his knees looking at stones, and he goes arse over tit and ends up on his back.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, and I think the next thing he sees is Carrie's face just coming directly into the shot and sort of, halo of fuzzy hair, just big guileless eyes. And Carrie will sort of like tug at the rope he's got on his chest and say, strings a thing?
And I think he's trying to push himself along the ground away from you and Branwen, who can have caught up very easily now. Um, Gwylog and Cenred, you were up near Derwin. The lady has showed her distrust, so I'll come back to you in a moment in terms of what you want to do, if you want to do anything prior to a cut to hospitality. But Ceri has brought him to ground, Branwen. What did you want to do if you hadn't frightened him off?
To be honest, I think I would have just followed him, and tried to spy on him. But clearly, that is not possible because he is, incredibly aware of me. So that I don't know if I might just try and actually, well, catch up and scare him into telling me something.
I mean,
I don't know.
you've got a lever. Why not pull on it?
Yeah.
Because I think I would give you advantage to frighten him.
Sure. Well, I think that's what I'll do then. If because apparently stealth is not an option right now.
So, are you looking to convince him to do something?
Hmm. Oh, sorry. What are the options here again?
So the common moves, what I'm thinking is, do you want to convince him to share what if anything he heard, or um, I think it's more likely to be that than look about you, which would be a question about him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that, or I. Okay, maybe that's a little bit ridiculous, but maybe whispered death could also be. I don't know. No, maybe not. Maybe I would
You don't
just.
need whispered death. You already got him terrified.
Yeah, maybe I would just run over and like actually grab him and
I have this point of view now that he's lying on his back. The guileless eyes of Ceri are here, and then he hears, running feet, and then your face comes into shot. What do you do?
I think I will just yeah, I will grab him by the collar and go like, what are you hearing? What did you hear? What are those voices that you heard?
Roll to convince him with 3 dice. Take the top two.
What
Oh, sorry, it's roll plus subtle.
tribute. Okay, subtle. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, cool. That is 10 plus 1, I think. 11.
Who needs to know 10 plus something? It's 10 plus.
Yeah.
So on 10 plus, they agree, and you also pick say what they do to grant you advantage, impress your patron. No, I'm just going to give you an answer. I think I'll just give you an answer, which is um I I I somebody said you were a gift.
A gift?
Yeah, yes. I saw you coming across through the village, and then somebody whispered in my ear, they're a gift. And but when I looked around, I didn't see anyone, and then you looked really odd.
A gift to whom? You or the village?
I don't know. I suppose I was afraid it was like the other gifts. And he points across the settlement to the enclosure holding that handful of people, including Beamond, the captive.
What do you do with your gifts, usually?
Well, Pala says that she can make everything right.
And how does she say that she can do that?
I'm inclined to cut that scene at
Yes,
that point.
sure.
Um,
Who says that? Oh, that Kala is the healer.
is the vicious healer? Yes.
Right, okay.
Does anyone want to do anything else before cutting to the Great Hall and a bowl of porridge?
Well, I think Gwylog would look at Cenred and say, I don't think we made a very good impression on her.
I'm inclined to agree with you, my friend Gwylog. That went south quite quickly, I believe. Yes, I don't think we're going to sit anywhere near the head of the table tonight. I'd be surprised if the dogs have not got a better place than us.
And Derwin, his sightless or his bandaged eyes look to you and says, the lady is most honorable. She will offer you hospitality as she thinks is fair.
Well, fair's subjective, isn't it, my friend? Fair is subjective.
No, fair is what my lady says it is.
Ah, fair indeed, my friend. And
She is the law here, and I enforce it for her.
true, true. A good pick of words there, I feel, my friend. A good pick of words. Please, I mean, I used to be a healer. Please tell me what ails you. What has happened?
It is an injury from an honorably earned injury of battle.
Ah, a war party. You were part of a war party, were you?
I defended the village against them, and he points in the wrong direction. But it's clear he means, yes, that is true. You do. Yes. I've just noticed the chat, Zeta. You do.
Yeah. So I think maybe well, I think the only one that makes sense is to get advantage. I don't think any of the others make sense.
No, I think he's going to stay scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can leverage that. But yes, he points in the general direction of that stockade where these prisoners are kept.
Has your healer been able to heal your sight?
She is. She says she needs to determine what will best work.
Well, as
That
I
is
said,
what she is about now, and that's the point when you hear the kind of scream that shouldn't come from a human voice box, as another one of these captives goes under the knife.
I mean,
Oh,
Yes, my friend Gwylog here, he's a mystical man. Maybe he can help.
I certainly would be willing to try, although it is hard to concentrate right now, given the that sound in the distance, that scream. Um, but yes, would you permit me to take a look at your affliction?
I think you're going to need to convince him of that because he thinks a cue is on the way.
Hmm.
So roll to convince him.
I mean, my friend's a great healer. You should really let him have a look at it. I mean, I've got good
And
patter.
Cenred can certainly. Well, I mean, could that move apply here?
Well, it grants an advantage to somebody else.
It
So
does. It
I'm going to
does.
big him up.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
man's
Yeah.
awesome.
Roll plus subtle.
Um, Damn, I've already ticked it. Um, a 5 and a 2 plus 1, 8.
7 to 9. 7+. They are distracted until another hero breaks the spell by exploiting their disadvantage. So they are at disadvantage in the moment, Gwylog. 7 to 9. They notice something they don't like about you or are suspicious of you and your motives. The Fates holds one to later disadvantage you because of one of those bullet points. So
They
I've got
don't
a
like me.
yes.
All right.
So but in that moment, he feels that he's convincible. You have advantage to convince him, Gwylog.
Yeah, and so I will say, I've spent much of my life in training, and I'm particularly adept in the power of plants to confer healing. You can you can smell, and I will, like, I have these herbs on me, and so I'll kind of hold some of those healing herbs under the nose, right? So that he knows that, right. Um, I have some backing to what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
what I
Let's
say.
have you roll with advantage to convince him to allow you to examine him.
Okay. Now I did previously check off all my boxes, so should I
Oh,
uncheck them and later take my
yeah, exactly.
advance?
Clear them and put another
Okay.
tick in the XP track.
Okay. Um,
And we'll clear that and talk about advances in a moment, improvements in a
okay.
moment. But
And
let's
where is the XP track?
all the way down the bottom.
66. Row 66.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. And then this is going to be with subtle,
which
correct?
allows you to tick subtle.
Which is a -1. And does the disadvantage do anything for me?
You roll 3 dice.
Oh, I can roll the 3 then. Okay. So this is, again, keep my fingers crossed. This turns out better than my last convincing did. Oh, it did not. I rolled a 3, 3, and a 1, and so that's going to be a 5.
Oh my goodness me. Um, uh, no, get away from me. Get away from me. And I think that's when you realize, Cenred, that you were just running off at the mouth. This plant business. Calla believes in that it is animals. It is the spleen, it is the liver, it is the eyes, it is the brain of animals where curatives lie. These plant things, yeah, go away, go away, go away. And he shoos you away. Um, and I think that's probably where I'm going to put a cut. Once Cenred and Gwylog, between you, do you want to try and come up with an insight based on these interactions?
Yeah.
I think on what he just said, uh, Gwylog could clearly, you know, the power of beasts.
Yeah. Yeah, that they yeah, this is um yeah, how would you put this? That they that they're relying on some type of magical power from
The
not
power
from
of the
plant.
flesh.
Yeah, the power of the flesh is where, right,
Very
they
Cronenberg.
drop. Mhm.
The power of flesh. The way of the flesh sounds slightly iffy, if I have to say. I
Fair
prefer the
enough.
power of the flesh.
I've seen some films. Let's not talk about them.
Um, so I think that's where we're going to cut today, because I think that's got the ball rolling. We will pick up next time as you receive what his hospitality the Lady Lind Frigga wishes to offer you. Um, but a quick start and wishes would be welcome. So I'll stick with the same order so I can alter it next time. So T, any stars, any wishes?
Yeah. Very fun session. I am looking forward to, I guess this is both a star and a wish, hanging out in a village a little bit longer and getting a little bit deeper. Um, oh, also, Zeta's right, we should do XP.
Oh, well done. Yeah, I will. I promise to do that after I've done stars and wishes, because I'm in a stars and wishes place now.
Perfectly fine. I really enjoyed a lot of fun failures this time. I enjoyed Branwen trying to sply on Black Cenred and just not. So nobody else knows what he's up to, which I feel like is very in keeping for our reformed. I also really enjoyed Cenred shoving a fistful of arrowheads in the snake's mouth. I thought that was a wonderful devious plan. I also enjoyed that very much bitten about it. Um, the little moment where Gwylog said to Ceri that the old gods see, birds that flit between heaven and earth as divine messages, and particularly the ones you can see, or rather hear but not see. I thought was a lovely little moment of connection there. And then I think not Calla, Bard, I named him. Um, some voice whispering in his ear that we were a gift, I think has set a wonderful spooky tone. Wonderful little GM movement.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think wishes just getting deeper into this village, finding out what horrible things they've been doing.
yeah, because we have got three people out there in the village to kind of work with this time. So this could be more proletarian based, perhaps. Don't know. Um, uh, Robbie, any stars, any wishes?
I enjoyed the session. I loved the encounter out in the fen and the kind of dynamics of that encounter. I liked Xena like trying to like think about, well, maybe we don't need to kill the beast, but the kind of friction in the group as to like what to do with that beast. And then you know the aftermath of that with our loon giving Cenred the brooch, but perhaps not really realizing, right, that was um, I don't think the loon had the complete sense of what Kenred's mission was, but that was good. I love this new settlement. It is yeah, very different than the first one, clearly. Something else that's kind of going on here. So I like that variety and yeah, and I'll also kind of second the fact that like the we had some really great roles, but then also some some poor roles, and those poor roles always do a nice job of stirring the pot even more. So I'm enjoying that. Wishes. Yeah, I'm just kind of, yeah, I will say, yeah, interested in finding out more about Olmsted. And I guess I'm interested in that river and the eels, right? There's something kind of going on with that location that I'm kind of interested in exploring.
Yeah, yeah, quite. And Xena, any stars, any wishes?
Yeah. So yeah, I also really enjoyed the, I guess, interesting roles that we had. I loved the moment where, well, I loved that the loon was back to the rhyming, and even more so that Cenred responded with another rhyme to go with that. What was it? Feast, least, and then beast. Anyway, it was just yeah, rather I don't know, just delightful. Um, I also really enjoyed the way that our how we went from a feast where food isn't evenly distributed to, oh, okay, they're killing all of these people and da da da. It's just like a very nice, building upon one another. And I think part of that is also probably down to these fantastic roll tables for the NPCs, which just give a lot of flavor. So I really enjoyed that. And yeah, the I yeah, I really enjoyed the scene be before the giant water snake made itself known with Gwylog just how do you say that, disturbing the water, and you're thinking, oh God, that is obviously the moment in the film where something will happen, right? It's like, why are you doing this? Anyway, yeah, it was really I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I don't know if I have any wishes. I think apart from coming up with a reason to use steel for Branwen, that would be nice because I would also like some XP.
Well,
That's it.
yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just having fun here.
So does this mean I need to confront you with a situation where you have no alternative but to use steel?
I mean, if you could think of one, yeah, why not? But also, I'm trying to, yeah.
Fine.
Anyway,
Okay.
all good.
And finally, Paul.
Great session, like the sort of mini quest, really led into a good village. I think as a group we've painted it quite nicely. T really good for handing over that approach. That it's not a game where it's sort of PvP, so I couldn't really steal it off you. You succinctly sort of sorted that out very well, rather than make it quite difficult. Xena, I really liked your left field approach with dealing with the beast. Alas, I sort of had a plan in action, but no, that was really good to see. I didn't think about anything like that, so it was a good use of powers and stuff like that. Really like to see it. And Robbie, I don't actually know why I ever try and help you because it only ever goes south, my friend. Uh, it's bad. It's like, well, yeah, I might as well jump in and join the badness, really. But yeah, what you said of bad rolls actually adds to it. I think it does. It's always nice to have some terrible rolls. It does add to the tension, and we're seeing that shade track tick up. But it's good RP all the way around. Wishes, I think night. We're quite late in the day. Night's going to bring some nastiness. So I'm getting those sort of what's the Mel Gibson apocalypta sort of South American sort of. We got these people being sacrificed. It's all a bit nasty. So yeah, really good. Enjoyed.
Good. My stars. I think you covered all of them. But I do want to pick out those two scenes as you approached the fen, where we had a couple of really nice conversations that you managed to work together, the pair of you, to create an opportunity to seek solace in friendship. Because I think that I suppose it's in my nature to want to benefit people who invest in the character conversation. So that's why the mood is there. So yeah, that was great. And yeah, I'm wondering how, as that shade track ticks along to disaster in the village, I'm wondering whether you are going to get a solution in time, because it is bounding along at the moment. I need to think about end of session shade, end of settlement shade, but end of session XP. So what do we got? Let me start this time with Cenred. Did you did your burden make a difference for good or ill?
I think caused some tension in the party.
It did.
Yeah.
I'll give you an XP for that. Did you address a challenge with guile?
I think that was quite out there with the way I got in that water, and
Was that
working around.
guile or just rash
No, because there was a
madness?
plan. I needed to know where that water was flowing, sort of, to give me an advantage because my steel is terrible. I got to always look out for something good there to get that.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I think it certainly surprised me. Um, then moving along to our Celtic mystic. Did your burden make a difference for good or ill? And we're still waiting to see the rage. Oh, you are muted.
I mean, I do
Yeah,
think straight up wrestling the snake was maybe a little
Yeah,
anger
it
played a
was,
role there.
it was a surprise. Rage.
yeah. I don't think we've
Rage
seen it
is.
yet. I think we are on the verge of it though, with how badly things have gone thus far with the roles. But I don't know that I would say that the burden, manifested itself, you know, as it should. So yeah, I would
I
say
think,
not.
yeah, I think I'd agree with that. Because what did somebody put in the chat? Gwylog being conscientious again. He's
Yes.
too nice a guy to be filled with rage. I can only hope that when it does go off, it's going to go off with a bang.
Yeah.
But did you address charge with ancient law? Yes, I think you
I think it
did.
did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I relied heavily on the miracles and kind of my sense of that beast in the fen, right, being right, some type of not a normal animal, but some type of supernatural thing that I needed to use my lure.
It certainly was not natural. Branwen, what about you? Did your burden make a difference for good or ill?
I would say so.
Yeah.
I well, I mean, maybe we don't see it yet, but yeah, I think we had a lot of back and forth between me and Cenred, and
Exactly so. Yeah, you can have one for that. And did you address the challenge with stealth?
well, I tried,
Yes,
but
you
I didn't
did.
manage.
Yeah. And
But
it is to try. You
well,
addressed it, win or lose.
that finishes out the XP track for me for
Right. So if
once.
you clear that, your little improvement drop-down box just below there will tell you what your options are.
Cool. I will have a look.
And finally, coming round to T, did your bird make a difference for good or ill? Oh, no question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we went from incoherence back to rhymes. We're loving the rhymes. So yeah, you can certainly have an XP for that. Did you address a challenge with lunacy? Well, you tell me what you
Uh,
thought was your most lunatic exploit today.
I think probably the one that sticks out to mind is tripping. Poor
Calla,
Brad.
the cowardly heel. Not Calla.
Bard. I
Bard, yeah.
named him. Was tripping Bard. To create an opening for Cena by just scrobbling around in the dirt as you do.
Yeah. And thank you for reminding me because you'd said you'd set it up not knowing how you could use it, but you're squatting on the ground looking at the stones, trying to get a feel for this place. And what should happen? But somebody trips over you. Always in the right place at the right time is Ceri. So yeah, you too, I think, have filled your track. So clear it and have a look at those improvements. I don't need to know now. Just make a selection, and I'll pick that up over the week ahead. So with that, I will pause the recording. Say good night to the internet. Bye bye, internet.